Hi, I'm Mark from eReplacementParts.com. In this video, I'm going to show you how to replace the armature in a Dremel Model 395 Moto-Tool. The armature is the main portion of the motor. It also consists of the shaft that comes out the end of your Moto-Tool. The most common sign of a bad armature will be bad sparking and maybe even some smoke coming out of the vents on the back of your tool. This happens because the tool has been overloaded at some point and the insulation on the armature is broken down. When this happens, it'll need to be replaced. To get started, we need to open up our Dremel tool to get access to the armature. We'll start by removing this cap on the front of the tool, and then the motor brushes. Now remove the 4 screws that hold the 2 halves of the housing together. And now I can pull the 2 housings apart. Now I'll pull the motor and switch assembly away from the other housing. The armature is this piece inside the field and the switch housing. I can just pull the armature away from those. Here I have the new armature for our Dremel. On my old armature, I still have the collet and a bit installed, so I'll go ahead and remove those. And I'll just go ahead and transfer them over to the new armature. Then I can slide the new armature back into the field and the switch housing. There's a lock pin and spring that go into one half of the housing. Those probably fell out like they did on mine when you took it apart. So I'll put the lock pin back into the housing, followed by the spring, and then I can place the motor and switch assembly back into the housing. I want to make sure that I line up the bearings front and back. I also want to make sure that I get these wires out of the way and down to these notches that are provided in the housing so they don't get pinched when I put the opposite housing back on. Now I can go ahead and replace the other housing and secure it with its screws. And we'll wrap up the repair by replacing the brushes, and the front cap. And that's all it takes to replace the armature in your Dremel Model 395 Moto-Tool. We hope you found this video helpful. Please feel free to leave a comment or ask us a question.